Good afternoon. I have the pleasure to welcome today Brahma Sharma, who I met on LinkedIn. And I assume you used to be a doctor and now you are more into promoting products that can save people's lives, correct?
Well, I have a PhD. I'm a chemist from pharmaceutical and medical device industry.
Okay, so you understand the products that you are selling, correct?
Well, I'm not selling, I'm talking about a simple cheek swab test which can avoid adverse drug reactions by prescription drugs.
Sounds good to me. So I remember perfectly talking to you 2 years ago when you were starting to do it, I believe. And,
Yes.
and you wanted me to see if I can offer it to some of my contacts, but I'm not in the medical field, so I turned it down. But what I have you on the show, What's Your Idea, is to explain to me how could that test tell you if the medicine will kill you or not?
Oh, it's not just killing. It's before that there are a lot more adverse reactions from upset stomach to dizziness and all kinds of other hallucination, internal bleeding, thrombosis, and on and
So
on.
what do? You poke your finger with the medicine and you get the result on your...
No. So let me tell you a little bit. Pharmaceutical companies admit their drug works well for less than 50% of the people.
Okay, I heard that.
50%. Cancer drugs actually work for less than 25% of the people.
Oh,
So how does your doctor know which half do you belong to when they are prescribing a medication? They
okay.
don't.
How? You tell me how, okay?
So absolutely. And the reason for that is there are no two people alike, not even siblings. You have any brothers, sisters?
Yes, I do. But
Well, we inherit slight genetic variation from our parents that controls how we look.
okay.
That also controls how we respond to a drug. And those gene variations are in your liver. So now there is a simple cheek swab test once in a lifetime, which predicts before doctor even prescribes whether drug is going to be just right for you or too hot or too cold, like a Goldilocks.
What is it? What is it? A blood test?
No, saliva test,
Oh,
cheek swab.
oh, it's a saliva test. So I put my saliva on the cotton swab.
Well, you swab the cheeks and
Okay.
then send it to the lab. Yes.
Inside the mouth?
Yes, inside, in the cheeks.
Okay, you send it to the lab and the lab will tell you whether you can take...
Lab sends a report to the doctor,
okay,
which lists all the drugs, how you would react to them, how would you respond to them.
okay.
So
Sounds
if
good.
doctor is looking for a painkiller, and let's say it starts to prescribe an opiate, but your gene for that is slow, then doctor should not be prescribing that. Find another pain management drug. For that, your gene is functioning normally.
Oh, got it. But
Because
how can you...
my gene CYP2D6, that's the name of the gene.
Yeah,
For opiates, it's slow. I cannot tolerate that drug. But doctors, what do? That's the first line of painkillers. They give to everybody who has a pain. And then pretty soon, patients get addicted to. Actually, in my book, I write the addiction to opiate starts from the prescriptions given by the doctor taken as directed, because they are not matching the genes and patients get addicted to the morphine in the drug, and that leads to stealing the medications from children or parents and so forth, and pretty soon they go on to the street level.
But how can with just saliva, can they test?
Yes.
Can they test thousands of drugs?
Well, it's interesting. Most of the drugs are metabolized by handful of genes in your liver. And pharmaceutical companies are actually identifying in their label, which is inside the package, which gene is responsible to metabolize their drug. So doctor just needs to read the patient's report. If it is slow, doctor should not be giving that drug.
Oh,
if it is fast, if it is a hyperactive, then they should increase the dose to start with. And often what happens, doctors are scared and they start with the low dose. So somebody who is on a hyperactive gene, they might not give them any drug. There is no benefit.
When they take your saliva, how many tests do they run?
They run anywhere from 30 to 50 genes. Okay. And the 30 genes almost cover, I would say 80% of the medications.
80%? Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
So it's based.
FDA has a list of 200 plus drugs where they strongly recommend to run a pharmacogenetic test or PGX test before or soon after prescribing those. In addition to that, they have a 70 plus drugs which are with the black warnings. That means they are more dangerous, but the benefits are there. That's why they are on the market. They are requiring this PGX test before prescribing. Most doctors are still not even aware of that.
So if there's requirement, but it's not an obligation, right?
It is not, but there are plenty of lawyers who are trolling around, and they can ask. Somebody gets hurt, let's say, with the blood thinner, Coumadin or warfarin, and either the patient or the relatives, they hire a lawyer. Lawyer asks the doctor, "Hey doc, why did you prescribe this Coumadin to my mom or dad or to myself?" "Well, I need to control thrombosis, which is a blood clot." "Great. Did you do PGX test before deciding the dose?" "No. Ignoring and avoiding is a no longer defense."
Okay, so they can sue the doctor?
Yes, they can.
So every doctor is required to have that test then?
Well, you see, one of the problem is right now, it is not part of the standard care. And that's what my goal is, to educate more and more doctors, either doctors themselves or through the patients. They can insist on, "Hey doc, I'm concerned about my medications. I have so many medications." What happens is that it's called cascading prescribing. They give one drug, they have a side effects. They look at that as a new diagnosis and prescribe a new prescription to take care of the side effect.
Okay. So okay. So you yourself take medicine?
Huh?
You take some medicine now?
Yes, I do. I'm actually diabetic. So I have done this test. Every one of my medication matches my genes.
Oh, you're diabetic. So are you type A or type 1 or type 2? So you take
type 2.
That means you take insulin.
Type 2.
Do you take
No, I do not.
Oh, you take pills?
Well, I do. I managed to lose about 20, 25 pounds, and I have reduced my medications.
Okay, they say you can become non-diabetic by eating raw food for 2 months like just fruit and vegetables for 2 months, and then your diabetes will disappear. But raw,
Well,
you
it
cannot eat
does
cooked
not.
food.
These are all debatable products. There are so many ways we can lose weight. Losing weight is one way, but that doesn't mean anything. Type 2 people are also thin. So weight is not the alone reason why one has a diabetic. But we are digressing. I'm talking about the prescriptions doctors
Yeah,
are
yeah,
prescribing.
I agree. So let's say I go see a doctor and he gives me a prescription. Do I have to
Yes.
call you to take that test?
Oh, well, one thing what I usually do is send you a letter, or whoever wants to get a letter from me, and they can take it, show it to the doctor. Doctor, please read this letter. I'm concerned about my medications. I want this test done. Is there
Oh,
a single reason why you would not order that for me?
okay, got it. And
And
what state?
if the doctor is not progressive, and they say, well, you don't need this test, I suggest to the patients, if they don't care about your health, go find another doctor who is more progressive.
Okay, got it. And this test is available in all 50 states?
All 50 states, and most of the insurance companies are paying for it.
Oh, that's the good news for you. That means you can sell it in all 50 states.
Well, I'm not selling the test. I'm guiding. I help the doctors connect with the testing laboratories
Oh, I
of
see,
their
I
choice.
see. And
Yeah.
the doctor doesn't have to buy it either.
No, there is no cost to the doctor. The testing lab sends the cheek swab testing material with the prepaid FedEx envelope to send it back. So there
Okay.
is no cost to the doctor.
So who's paying? The insurance company?
Insurance company pays for it. Yes, ma'am.
All right. And is there an 800 number to call?
Well, here's an interesting number. For insurance company, it is costing them $130 billion a year to take care of the adverse drug reactions. Emergency room, 2+ million patients are hospitalized every year because of the drug reactions.
Okay.
And as simple as, let's say, a doctor prescribes a medication, and a week later, you're having major side effects, and doctor decides to change it. What happens to the first prescription? It's thrown away, right? You
Yeah.
may have paid $20, $25 copay, but insurance company just out for about $500 to $1,000 plus.
It's
So
no
there
good.
is actually cost saving in the healthcare industry.
I got it. But my question was, let's say I heard about your test and
Yes.
the doctor say, okay, let's do it.
Yes.
So can the patient go ahead, take the test without the prescription of the doctor?
Well, the report will go to the doctor. FDA controls that, requires that the PGX test report goes to the doctor. Then the patient can ask the doctor to give them a copy.
Okay, it's called
And
P like
the
Peter,
doctor,
it's called PGX.
PGX, or pharmacogenetics.
Okay,
Pharmacogenetics, how pharmaceuticals interact with your genetic variations.
PGX. Okay,
Yes,
that's easy to remember.
yes.
Okay,
And it's not a new science. It has been around. They know how your genes interact with your efficacy of your medications. That's
okay,
why pharmaceutical companies on board. And remember, I was telling you about litigations. A
yeah.
doctor can say, well, nobody told me, but the pharmaceutical company will say, no, doc, you didn't read the instructions. instructions in the packet.
Okay, okay. So you took the test yourself and you showed it to your doctor and he changed your medication?
Yes, actually the test results go directly to the doctor. Doctor
Oh,
reviews that and see if every drug you are on is matches with the gene which is functioning normally, not slow, not too fast. If it is slow, that has a chance of adverse drug reaction. If it is too fast, then doctor needs to adjust the dose upward so that
okay.
drug
So,
stays in the body long enough to cure you.
okay. So they adjusted it for you?
Yes, they should.
They should, but they
They should.
didn't?
Well, for me,
Yeah,
all
for you.
my medications actually were selected to match my genes. So
Okay, so you did it ahead of everybody. You knew
yes,
about
well,
it.
not everybody. This science is not that new. It is insurance companies have started paying for it, so it is becoming more available.
Okay, okay. So how many people are aware of this?
Well, not many enough.
Not many, because even though I heard about it 2 years ago, I thought it was something new on the market, and you're telling me it's not new.
Well, no, it it the interaction with the genes is known for a long, long time. However, after the 2003, the genome project, where they were able to, scan all the different genes, that has progressed to the level now we can look at specific genes like in the liver, 30, 40 genes which are responsible for metabolizing the drug or clearing it out of your body. So,
Mm, I
because
see.
every drug, everything you put in the body thinks it's a foreign material and they start processing to eliminate it. Pharmaceutical companies, through the pharmacokinetics, create long enough retention in the body to cure the disease. However, they think everybody is an average, but no patient is an average. So what happens is that if a drug, the gene is slow, drug is not clearing fast enough. With the repeated doses, the drug start accumulating unmetabolized drug in the body. Every drug is toxic, everyone, including aspirin.
And
So,
how do you detox your body of different supplements? And
well, I'm not addressing the supplements, but supplements can affect the efficacy of a prescription drug. That's in
okay.
my chapter in my book also.
Oh, okay, okay. No, my question is, let's say your body is intoxicated with medicine and supplements. How do you detox your
Well,
body?
the two things can happen. You can stop taking it, then body eventually will clear that.
Okay,
But if you stop taking it, you're not curing the disease you have. So
right.
the best solution is stop giving that medication, which is creating adverse drug reaction, find another therapeutically equivalent drug, which uses a different gene to metabolize, and that gene is functioning normally for you.
Okay, no,
That is the basic.
because I noticed that taking supplement uh, intoxicate your body, so I stopped all supplements. You know, over the counter stuff is no good.
I I don't recommend, but eventually body is an excellent detoxifier.
Oh,
If
okay.
you if you stop taking, the body will eventually clear that toxicity out of your body.
Okay, but as a chemist or whatever you are, do you drink like lemon every week, or do you drink anything to detox?
I do not teach doctors to practice medicine. I tell them that here's a tool for you to prescribe right drug for every patient.
Okay, that's good. That's good that you are getting the word out. But I'm asking you a personal question. How do you detox yourself?
Well, it is a very, very complicated question to answer.
Really?
Detoxifying of what? That's number one question.
Yeah.
Number two, how did it get, how were you exposed to that? How did it get into your system? And
You took it through your mouth or whatever.
if you took it through the mouth, if you stop taking, eventually it will clear your body. That's the body's excellent job.
Okay, I'm happy to hear that. I'm happy to hear that.
Yeah.
So,
The body has an excellent defense mechanism for everything we are bombarded.
okay,
Everything.
sounds good. Sounds good. So your GPX, is that what is it called? GPX?
PGX.
Oh,
Peter George X.
oh yeah, PGX. Okay, so that that test is called the PGX will actually prevent you from taking something that's toxic to you.
Well, yeah, it is a guide for the doctors to select the right medication so it doesn't create any unnecessary side effects.
Sounds good. Sounds good. So now let's say
And it's a guide. The doctor can choose even after they find, hey, your gene is slow, it may give you more side effect, but in their wisdom of education, they choose is still to give that medication to you. They have all the right because they are educated for that. So I'm not dictating how they should practice medicine.
okay. So let's say your doctor by mistake gave you the wrong prescription and you go see him and
I
say,
should say mismatching prescription.
okay, so let's say he gives you a mismatching prescription.
Yeah.
So does he have to prescribe you something else to get rid of what you already took?
No. Once he replaces that with another therapeutically equivalent drug, which does the same thing,
Right.
but its pathway is a different gene, the first one will clear out with time.
Okay, with time, could be 5 years, could be 2 years, could be 1 year.
No. It's a matter of days. Sorry.
Oh, it will clear real quick.
Yeah.
So that's the good news. But why did they say that the number one cause of death in America is wrong prescriptions?
There are two aspects here. Now we are digressing. This is the prescription errors.
Right.
Maybe pharmaceutical companies filled the wrong medication.
Right.
Or in the hospital, nurse gave the wrong medication.
Right.
Those are prescription errors.
Oh, errors.
Right.
Okay. But also the doctor could prescribe something that's not suitable for that particular disease.
Well, when you say suitable, that means it may create unnecessary side effects.
Correct.
And that's
correct.
where PGX test will be a guide for them not to prescribe that medication.
But if the majority of death is caused by faulty prescriptions, it's too late once you're dead.
One more time, please.
I say if the majority of death in United States are caused by wrong prescriptions,
Yes.
if the patient dies, it's too late to reverse it.
Oh, of course. You see, it's a major problem in the elderly people when they are on 5, 10, 15, 20 medications.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah. some of the medications are given to take care of the side effect of the first one.
Right.
So
Right.
if you select the first one right, then your medication level will go down. So after you do the PGX test,
Yeah.
based on that, either the doctor or trained pharmacist can review the test and do the drug reconciliation and
That's
can
good. That's good.
wean some bad ones out and replace them with the good ones.
Yeah, I think the role of the pharmacist is crucial, because one time I got a prescription and the pharmacist told me, you should not take it. It says here that you are allergic to penicillin. So I had to call my doctor and they changed it.
Oh,
So the
absolutely.
pharmacist,
And one of the reason is most healthcare professionals, now they are getting more and more aware of what all the total medications a patient is on. But sometimes patients go to different doctors and
they don't
one
know.
doctor doesn't know what they are on.
That's true. I've seen a senior, she had like 12 or more medicine on her table. And I said, you take all this? She said, yes. And I said, you don't need all this. I mean, I don't need to be a doctor to know nobody needs so many medicine.
Yeah, what I suggest to everybody who's on medications to get this PGX test done as soon as possible.
Is
Because
there,
one thing often what happens that helps reduce the number of medications you are on. And then you get the right one, so you are not having as much side effects.
I agree. But now, is there another strategy that the doctor would look at 12 prescription drugs and combine them into one? Is there such a thing?
Oh, no. Well, there are sometimes one or two drugs are combined, but they still have to go through FDA to clear for safety and efficacy.
So if
it's a long process.
Okay, if patient takes 3 from one doctor, another 3 prescription from another doctor, and another 3 from another 4 from a fourth doctor, whatever, and he has a whole bunch of medicine on his table, is there another extra doctor that can combine them into 2 or into 3?
No, you cannot do that. Unfortunately. What happens is that if you got so many medications, and some people, especially with the Alzheimer on the rise, and some other issues, they don't even know if they're taking the right medication at the right time.
Yeah, they forget.
Or they make things.
They
forget.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So it's a dilemma sometimes for the doctor. He doesn't know what other prescription his patient is taking.
Well, these days, there is a system called medical health record, which tries to combine all the medication patient has from all different doctors. So they can all see what is there.
So that's good.
Yeah.
And the doctor can look at that chart?
Sure, absolutely.
So we're making progress.
And also, pharmaceutical companies, insurance company actually pay them. They can do the drug reconciliation for the patient.
Oh, nice.
To see if there is not a drug-drug interaction, bad reactions, because there are drug-drug interactions also.
Oh, okay. So what do you do, Mr. Sharma? Do you go see a doctor in person, or you call them on the phone and do Zoom meetings?
No, you have to go take the letter or ask the doctor and go in person, because they have to do the cheek swab.
Okay, but for you to make the doctor aware of that swab, do you call them and let them know about it?
Yes, they can call me, and by all means, I'll consult with them, set up a connection with the lab, help them out, and I'll even send my book for them to read.
And what's the name of your book, sir?
The Right Drug for Every Patient, How to Avoid Adverse Drug Reactions, or ADRs. And I'll be
So
glad to send you the manuscript.
that would be nice.
Yeah.
Can you, so your role is not to call one doctor at a time then?
Say it again. No, I don't. There is no time, and you cannot. Doctors are busy, and they have a very strong gatekeepers. So you cannot really call the doctors. You can educate them. What I'm trying to do is somewhere get this test with the CE approval. Then they will come to get this continued education credit. And
From
that's
you.
how they would.
They will get it, the continuing education from you?
Well, whoever is presenting that, but I have to work with a university who is willing to issue the credit to the doctor, because every doctor has to have certain minimum number of CE or continued education credits.
Yeah, I know
They're
that.
required by law.
So how many credits would that give them?
I cannot right now. My test or my lecture is not sponsored by any university yet. I have to
Okay.
find a university who will do that.
Okay, so they will take your online course and then now they know that.
Online or in person, and that's what will make them aware. If the test is a cost saving and it eliminates unnecessary side effects,
Right.
makes actually patients get better sooner. I'll tell you, University of Illinois Health Science Center in Chicago, they used PGX test to guide the doses of Coumadin, also known as a warfarin, blood thinner.
Okay. So,
And they saved $600,000 in first year by
nice.
reducing the number of readmittance back to the hospital.
So
That's another problem. You
do they
see,
give you
all hospitals, they focus as much as they can so their patient does not come back. Because
do they give
if
you
they come back within certain days, insurance company does not cover those days. Hospital has to pay for it.
All right, all right. Now let's say you saved my company 600,000. Am I supposed to give you 10% of that to say thank you to you?
No, I am not asking for any money.
No?
That is actually illegal. The
You did.
government prohibits for anybody, doctors especially, profiting from any test or medication they are ordering for the patient.
Okay, no, but
It's
to
called
inform.
a stark law.
No, but to inform people is a different ballgame. You're giving a continuing education.
My job is to connect them with different laboratories, and yes, they can compensate me.
Oh, they can.
Yes.
Okay, so you know all the labs in the country?
I don't know all of them, but I know few. I can recommend them should the doctor ask me.
Okay, so yourself, just to make clear, you told me you're not a doctor, right? You're just a chemist?
I am a chemist with a PhD in a pharmaceutical and medical device industry.
So you have worked on...
I do not tell doctors how to practice medicine. I give them a tool to select the right one for every patient.
Okay, but with your degree, you can work on developing medicine?
That's one of my job. It was. I'm retired now.
Oh, you are? Okay.
Yeah.
So you used to work on developing some medication?
Medications, medical devices, and so forth. Yes.
Wow. So you have fulfilled your life calling if you have done all of that. So that's good.
Yes.
So now your role is to save as many lives as possible.
The PGX test is literally lifesaver.
Yeah, yeah, I hope so.
It
So,
is. So I suggest anybody who's on medication, they should insist on this test.
I
And
agree.
doctor should use this test to guide prescribing medications to every patient.
Okay, so it's called the PGX test, and they can go
PGX.
on. Yeah.
In fact, it on the average, it takes 5 to 6 hours every month for the doctors answering patients' questions who are having unnecessary side effects
Oh, really?
and busy about changing the drugs and so forth. They say, well, this drug works for so and so and so. How come it doesn't work for this patient? And
And that's
that
the
is the
reason.
reason. It's a
And that's the
genetic
reason.
variation.
That's the reason, right?
It actually saves them time, frees them up to see more patients.
Right. Okay. Well, you have a good calling here to save people lives. That's good. A good
Yeah,
way to spend your time, and it gives you many a meaning to your life. You know,
absolutely. Anybody who sends me an email, I'll send them this letter as well as the manuscript of my book.
oh, really?
And
They can go at
email
Brahma Sharma on LinkedIn and find your email.
at Brahma Sharma at hotmail.com. That's a BRAHMASHARMA at hotmail.com.
That's not too bad. I can remember that. So it's your first and last name at Hotmail.
Correct. So if
Okay.
you text me your email, I'll send you the manuscript of the book and the typical letter I send to the patients to
Mine
get.
is also on LinkedIn. It's French American TV at Gmail. French American TV at gmail.com. It's on my LinkedIn. Contact
Okay, I
info.
will
Yeah.
I will send that to you, and please share with the other friends and relatives who are on medications.
So do you speak also Indian?
Yes, I do. I was born in India long time ago. I've
So
been in the United States for about 50 years.
okay, so I'm gonna refer you to my friend. She's doing Indian American TV,
Okay,
and she does bilingual shows like me on bilingualtv.us. And
sure.
she will interview you in Indian and then in English.
No problem.
Yeah,
I
because on bilingualtv.us, I have one side for French and one side for Indian. So
sure.
you'll be on the Indian side.
Oh, no problem. I can be on both sides.
Exactly. You'll be on What's Your Idea in English, and you'll be on Indian American TV in 2 languages.
Absolutely. I have talked about, I've been keynote speaker about talking about the PGX test and so forth.
Exactly. So I will let her know tonight to contact you. Have your
Okay,
phone number and your LinkedIn. So I'll put you 2 together. So thank you so much for
perfect.
your time, Dr. Brahma Sharma. It has been a pleasure talking to you. I appreciate you accepting my invitation.
Thank you, Eileen.
Thank you. Have a great afternoon and keep up the good work and keep up the good mission.
You too. I'm actually 1 hour ahead of you. I'm in Boulder, Colorado.
Oh, you are now ahead. Okay, okay. All right. So it's 6:55 over there. Okay. So I should
All
have.
right.
Thank you so much. You have a good evening and have a good weekend. Thank you.
Okay. Bye-bye. You too.